Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Robbie with Believe in the Run.
And you're checking out a great review of the Nike Zoomfly 5.
I guess we should transform into shoe reviewers, but before we do that, please subscribe to this channel and like this video to make sure you get all the most ridiculous reviews that are running reviews online.
Cactus plant flea market.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay, we're here.
So Robbie, we got this shoe and I have to say, gorgeous.
I mean, really one of the more beautiful Nike shoes of the recent memory, I think.
Dude, it's so hot. It's so hot.
Yeah, I like this actually. I'm not a huge fan of orange typically, but if it's this kind of orange, I kind of like it.
Yeah, I agree with you. But this thing, man, it just photos so well. I took some pictures and it just pops.
So the Zoomfly has gone through some crazy stuff over the years. We have the first version here, right?
Yeah, at least a kid's version.
Yeah, it's not mine.
Oh, this is
close.
Originally, when this shoe came out, let's do a little bit of history. I had to do a video comparing this to the Vaporfly so people knew the difference. The shoes looked alike. The uppers looked almost identical. You were like, what is this? Look at it, even the thin tongue.
Yeah,
this thing was light. It just had a different foam, and it had, instead of a carbon plate, at that time, it had a TPU plate.
I mean, you put some Monza blue on that thing and nobody knows what's going on.
I've always wanted to love this shoe. It's always had problems for me.
Has it always been a letdown?
It has. Like, I was so excited to get these when we got these, and this was so firm, but there's no flex.
Now, I feel like I recall people being fans of the Flyknit version of it.
They were. A lot of people like the Flyknit version.
And then since then, it's progressed forward and kind of backwards and backwards. And I guess it's always been a little bit of a heavy shoe.
I mean, it was always heavier than the Vaporfly, but this was not ridiculously over. It was probably an ounce or two heavier than the Vaporfly.
And last year, people had a lot of issues with the Zoomfly 4, where it was very stiff, kind of blocky, which brings us to the Zoomfly 5. We saw this shoe was coming to ZoomX. Everyone was crazy stoked for it. And then the hammer drops, and we found out it was just the scraps off the floor of ZoomX.
Yeah, it's the particle board ZoomX. It's in a carrier of a foam called SR2. The only place that we've seen it before
is the Joyride, and actually the Vomero 15 and 16 had SR02 in it. And the upper actually is nice, and I thought it fit really well.
Fits super well. I love the way it fits. It doesn't have a gusseted tongue, but it is somewhat attached, but it sits in place really well. Gotta give this upper a ton of credit because the bottom is so heavy and your foot stays on here really well. That's a good upper.
Pretty breathable, pretty nice. So.
Gently padded tongue. Gently padded collar, overall comfort-wise.
Yeah.
Really nice.
So let's get on to the midsole. Again, we said the midsole is made of the SR02 with the ZoomX inside. What do you think about the ride, Thomas?
I kind of went back and forth on it. My initial impression was...
Forgot to say the carbon fiber fly plate as well. Kind of a big deal.
The first run we ran and I was like, maybe this is a viable shoe. It had a little bit of give. It reminds me a lot of the Adidas Boston 10, but slightly softer, which is what I wish the Boston 10 was.
The ZoomX, you do get a little more bounce from it than you did from last year's Zoomfly, which was nice. It's just also heavier. It is very stiff shoe, as usual. You gotta get that, gotta make sure you're locked in before you take off in this thing.
It's super stiff, but I do think that the geometry of the setup, it actually reminds me a lot of the Alphafly. Like if you kind of feel right here where you have these two areas that kind of bow out, you can feel those in your stride, and it kind of mimics the setup of the Alphafly too. I thought it gripped really well. You ran it today in the rain.
Yeah.
And what happened, Robbie?
I mean, nothing catastrophic, but it was definitely not very secure on wet pavement. I always felt that my foot could go out from underneath me at any moment. So
not a ton of confidence in your foot.
Not at all. So I don't know if they're using the same rubber they use in their trail shoes, but it actually felt similar.
And you wanted to talk about this little window.
Yeah, so there's this window cut out on the shoe, and the midsole, like the midfoot here, is just completely flat. I actually felt a sensation of this suctioning when this compressed, suctioning to the ground, and me having to I felt it pulling against the ground to pop it off. It was, which I've never felt in a shoe before.
That's crazy.
It was crazy. I mean, it wasn't like...
Should have helped with the traction. Like you got a little octopus tentacle. The weight of this shoe it just starts to get old.
11.25 ounces, 319 grams for men's size 10.5.
Yeah, maybe there's this new thing going on because we're finding a lot of shoes are coming out in this heavier range for training, and then you throw on that Fast A shoe and it feels like lightning. I went back out to get more miles on this shoe for this review. My legs were beat up from the day before, but these just felt so clunky and so like I was running with this heavy weight on my feet that I just really didn't enjoy it.
I don't know where this fits in or why it's there. I just don't understand it.
That's the only thing I can think of, is that because the platform sort of matches the feel of the Alphafly 2, that this could be a training companion to that shoe. So if you were like using this as like a gym shoe slash you can get some miles in it, I think that it could also work for that, but it is really difficult. We try to categorize shoes like daily trainer, tempo shoe, race day shoe, and I have no idea where this one really fits in.
Well, especially because we have if you want the real ZoomX experience, I mean, you can go for the Invincible. Straight ZoomX feels bouncy, great, and everything else.
My problem was both of us have weak ankles, and this shoe...
Weak everything else.
Yeah, this shoe just didn't want to keep our ankles up. Yeah, I don't know where this would fit in, like if I was a consumer that had... What does this run?
Disposable income.
Yeah, it's on sale now for $160. I do love the way the shoe looks. It feels comfortable walking around in it. Yeah, for running though, there's other shoes I'd probably pick for a daily train. There's other shoes I'd pick for a tempo shoe. I wouldn't even consider this for race day. Where do we fall on this one? Is this red or yellow or what? It might be orange.
I think it's orange. I guess we're blending
shades.
Colors now.
Yeah, so it's not a horrible shoe.
It really isn't a horrible shoe. So I don't feel like giving it a red.
I love the way the upper fits. I love the way it looks.
I feel like everybody's rooting for the Zoomfly to be next year to be like great again,
or just finally bust out.
And I think everybody's also looking for the Peg Turbo 2, like the real Peg Turbo, 3.
Yeah. Peg Turbo 3 that's not recycled particle board.
Exactly. So
nature.
I don't know.
They probably already liked this video because it was so good. Mm-hmm. But if you didn't, now's your chance.
Yeah.
And you can turn that bell on. You can subscribe. Where else can they go?
Follow us on Instagram and make sure you listen to our podcast, The Drop and Fuel for the Soul. Those are both links to all that's in the description.
Do you know what could save you a lot of time? Sign up for the email.
Honestly, you should, because every week we send you just a list of all the reviews and YouTube reviews. Wait, you should still subscribe here though.
Also, you get a really nice note from Robbe, this guy.
Who knows?
Once a week, and it's just his stream of consciousness.
Yeah.
It could be like one day it's the dark, the world is ending. The next it's a uplifting story, you know.
The next I'm bashing a company that probably won't give us product.
Yeah. So you can check that out. Any other things that we want to do? Oh, we're starting a Spotify playlist. You can listen to that. It's called The Drop. BITR.
Okay.
Yeah, check it out.
And
here's some tunes.
You know what I was thinking? Because if you say follow on the Strava Club, did you say that? I was thinking this could be Strava orange too. It's pretty close.
It is. Look, you can get a crown in these.
Yeah.
Or CR.
CR. We never get them, so we don't know what they're called.
Yeah, Megan's the one who gets those. So.
Cool. All right. Thanks for watching. Here's hoping to next year.
Can you hold this? It's so heavy.
Thank you, balance.
I mean, after holding the bandage, it really does feel heavy.
Yeah, I'm ripped. So this is 100. Is it 160? How did you know?
Is it available for sale?
Yeah, it's been out for like...
people are asking when it's going to be available.
Well, those people are dumb.
Yeah, you dummies. You big dummies. It's available now. Brendo! Alright, we nailed it. Three videos, bro. We done. Did we not have a shoe up there the whole time?
Stuff on the...
I guess this one was supposed to be up there?
Well, it was up there.
Oh, okay.